Hey folks, Lead Smith here doing a little maintenance on my Cub Cadet ZT1 42 inch with the Kawasaki motor. Yeah, so I just broke 100 hours, so it was time to do an oil change, but I wanted to also change out my hydro fluid. Okay, that's an important one. And it's a pretty simple job. Let's clean this up. If this is the same information you have, then the procedure I'm using so far is working pretty good. I understand 20W50, last I checked, is the recommended oil for the hydro. Of course, you got two of them, one there, one here. And the problem is there's not a drain plug. So there is a fill plug, but there is no drain plug. So your fill plug is actually right over here on the right side of it. There is this little cover that's held on by a 1/2 inch bolt. Take that dude off, and then down here, let's see if I can get you in there without so much glare. Yeah, so there is a hole right there. You can barely see it, but no worries. This is the cap that it gives you access to, and it is a 1/4 inch hex. You might be tempted to use metric because it seems like everything's metric these days, but if you try to use a metric, you're gonna strip that hex out. So make sure you use a 1/4 inch. The other side, there's no cover. It's open, but you see I've got that hose going down there into it. That's what this is. So basically, like I told you, there is no drain plug, so I'm using this tool to suck the fluid out. By the way, is just a Harbor Freight tool. It's inexpensive. I'll throw a link down in the description. And if you don't have an air compressor, this is going to be problematic. And I know that people are avoiding the use of air compressors these days because they don't need them with the cordless impact guns and all the cordless tools, but there are some functions that you just need to have air for, and this is one of them. So of course that noise in the background is my loud, obnoxious air compressor. And you can see when I pull the trigger on here, it is sucking fluid right out of that hydro into this reservoir. And honestly, I think it's probably sucked out just about all it's going to get. But what I've been doing is trying to measure how much I take out. I love these Mobile One jugs because they got that good wide opening, and you can read the quart graduations on the back. So I've just been pulling a little bit out and pouring it into this jug and measuring as I go. Guys, I want you to look at this oil as I pour it out. I mean, it's kind of got a gray hue to it. You know, used motor oil is usually just going to be brown to black. This stuff here, I mean, it's working a little different. It's thin. I don't like it. It's only got 50 hours on it. And I think they tell you don't have to change it that often at all, but I don't like the way it looks. I mean, that's grayish, just not what I feel like used motor oil should look like. So got a total of 3 quarts altogether that I've pulled out between both sides. So by the way, if you've noticed, I've taken this bar off. I've found that this bar just kind of gets in the way of things when you're doing maintenance a lot of times, but it's only 4 bolts, no big deal. So the problem now is there's a couple of ways we can go about putting fluid back in here. There it is. That's a very small hole. I mean, it's smaller than a dime. So I mean, most of the funnels we have are not going to fit in there very well. And if they did, they'd fit so tight you'd never know if you were getting the right amount of fluid in there, and you'd start spilling. So there's another method that I tried, and I'll show that to you as well. This right here is just a suction pump tool. Okay, so it draws fluid in from one hose, and it spits the fluid out from the other hose all while just, you know, operating pump, pump, pump. And it worked. If you don't have an air compressor and you found a way to drain it without an air compressor, that's great. And this might be the ticket, because you can suck fluid out with it as well. Alright guys, so we got the little suction pump tool in there. Like I said, it can get a little bit messy, but what helps is knowing how much fluid was supposed to come out of there, or how much fluid came out of there, because now I know 1.5 quarts is about its max. If you're using these little tools, try not to force too much, because you will start pushing fluid past the seals. They're not made with super high quality. And if you're pumping 2050, that's some pretty thick oil. Otherwise, I would probably try figuring out a way to use my vacuum pump tool to do the trick. So we're probably just about at the top now. Now that fluid level there is pretty high. There is some overspill. It's all the way at the top, but when I go through my bleeding procedure, which I'm going to show you here in a little bit, you'll see it make more sense. There you go, a little bit of paper towel as a wedge will help this guy stay on when you go to put it back in place. I'm just going to thread it in loosely because I want it to breathe a little bit while I go through the bleed process, and I also want to be able to take it out pretty easily if I need to put more fluid in. So basically we're going to get this started by just manually running these back and forth. Don't be surprised if you feel a little bit of hesitation or a little bit of looseness. It'll start feeling a little bit more normal. Once it does, start it up. Repeat the process. So at this point, I'm just going to pull my little caps back off and make sure I got enough fluid. And as long as my fluid level is good, which, I mean, as long as it's up to the threads, and honestly it kind of looks like it is, then I'm just going to tighten them down, and I'm going to put this back on the ground. We're going to do a little test drive. Here's the other side. Yeah, I think we're golden.